Hello, welcome to another episode of phi mapping. Today we're going to look at this bird of prey here, photographed by Martin Adams from Unsplash. These are the two different styles of maps we're going to use. These are the maps and the two different types, the Fibonacci line map and the spiral phi map. These are the parent shapes that we get to create those maps, and we're going to use them to explore the dimensional harmonies in this beautiful creature right here. So, right off the bat, let's just get a sense of its actual phi dimensions. We're going to see if we can find the primary phi rectangles in here. Hopefully we're going to get a nice color. We'll stick with white for a moment. So in this part, we're just trying to get a sense of where the primary phi rectangle is, or if there is one. And to do that, we have to use existing dimensions. So, for example, there's one, is this wing. And we can see that that is not a phi rectangle. So we just do the whole bird. We just go right to tip. This will show us tip to tip and high or low. Let's go right to the head and see what happens here. So, if that's like that, coming right to that phi line there. Which is a bit of a secondary line. It's possible that it's in truth this line. The perspective was a little different. Okay. So then, if we shrink it down, let's see if we can find a composite of phi rectangles here. We go from the head to the tail. What does that show us? Gives us this nice little square. Now if we go right to the body, just to the width of the actual body, what does that say? Where's that rectangle? So that rectangle seems to exist right between the head and where the feet tuck there. So the width of the body then is the height of the wing there. And if we so that's a good reference scale, and it's almost 2 to the end of the tail. Now, wing looks like the wing comes out to about there. We're going to say that the actual fleshy part is right here. Not sure how far it extends. It must go around that corner, so that's not the right length. But if we scale that up one, we can do that simply by matching that. Then this is going to show us that core part of the wing. So that's going to more or less include the fleshy part of the arm there. So basically from the edge of the body out to the end of the flesh of the arm is going to be a phi relationship. So yeah, that looks like that's some pretty core phi geometry there. And obviously if we take this one and we go down one scale, that's across. Yeah, roughly the length of the head. If he was looking forward, the beak could probably extend a little bit past that. And then the tail again is going to be roughly that length, or roughly that one actually. Almost. And then one more of those out to the wingtips. Let's see if those... Yeah. So you can see that it's almost from the body. One scale up gives you this one, of which there's two of those. And that one, because it's a different angle, overlaps this one a bit, but if we just tuck it to the edge of the wing, we can see that it's kind of meeting right on that joint right up there. Okay, cool. Yeah, so I'd say that's our basic phi rectangle idea. Now if we try that, just try a few circles here. Let's see, circles often describe something. So there we've got 4 circles, which gives us 4 different scales of phi. So if we do one to the wing, let's do one to the wing. So that is certainly one scale. And since we know that scale, we can take these internal circles and try and find other scales. So that's going to fit that body perfectly. That's going to fit that head perfectly, which must mean that's up there a little bit. And this one will fit the inner head more perfectly, or the feet. Right, because the head is a little awkward. The beak, that would probably touch the beak there. So that's one phi relationship there. And that means also it's going to be about 3 circles that way. Yeah, if these wings are not the same, then there's a major problem. Yeah, they're basically the same. Okay, well that certainly works well. That works well. Okay, let's try the phi spiral. Just see if we can see anything. Actually, let's try the phi spiral map. That will save us a bit of time by doing multiple spirals at once. And let's do the same thing. We'll go to the body. So let's just do one, right? We'll go right to the head, down to the, where's the actual end of the body? Feet, say the feet are, or what? Somewhere right around there. Yeah, it's a little awkward because of that head, but let's do one that's the whole body here. See if I'll go rectangular. Yeah, let's go full body. And center it right on the bird. So you can see partly what might be trying to happen here is that these wings are in this kind of center channel. Yeah, it feels like the body wants to be right in the middle there. So I'm going to say those wings want to be in that channel, but they're arced a little differently. Let's see that arc coming up there, talking about that arm. This big void space, that's a big pocket. They get a bunch of power right there. And this area, like that. You can almost getting that arc there too. But if we keep it centered on the body so that that center area we can see that coming down. Actually, maybe it wants to be a little smaller. Is there a natural spot that it wants to be here? I am thinking that it kind of wants the tail to be there and it wants the head to be there. Since the head isn't straight, that's a little hard to say. We gotta guess a little bit. But if we did guess a little bit, it's going to be something like that. Which is doing what? Just doing this bottom part of the wing a bit. It's putting that part of the body right in there, the feet just below there. And it also means that it's grabbing points, like there's a, what, some kind of center of gravity there or something? Right to where these points of light come into the feathers. So right at this edge, running this arc right through this crook here, which is kind of a elbow type thing. And this spirals right off here, so yeah, interesting. Okay, cool. Yeah, this map does the bird fairly well. So also, right, yeah, I didn't see that before, but the width of the tail is that phi dimension of the height of the whole thing. There you go. And if we take that scale and rotate it, then we get almost the wings there. There's another very simple phi harmony. So Just like that. Okay, very cool. That was good. Now let's try one. Let's try this electric map here, bisecting the phi rectangle. Now let's go back to that simple one, which is actually probably the most simple phi geometry of the whole thing here. Yeah, stick with white. So, and it's describing this where the brown is. Again, putting this area right here is a important area, which is right where its feet are, which is part of the definition of raptor, I think, is that it grabs stuff with its feet like that. I'll put the head right there. A little bit. It's yeah, marking the center points of the wings right around there. That was turned a little bit. Yeah, it really wants to put that X right there. Interesting. Cool. Okay, let's try we'll try the circular map here. See if that will show us something interesting. Yeah, see that circle right there? It's just perfectly the size of the head relative to the length of the body. It's putting the feet again right in there, right in the eye, right in the center. So where those feet are going to grab something is right basically in the center of the bird. Even possibly up here a little more. Yeah, not bad for the body. Not too much info on the wings there. If we shrink that down till it is the body and fits right in between there. That's cool. Okay. Yeah, let's try the tri-spiral here. See, this is similar to the phi spiral map, except that there's 3 of them. And those occur when you do the pattern slightly different. In fact, the opposite way in which you get the spiral pattern creates the tri-spiral pattern. It's doing a bit of these scale things, so this does not look like it is the type of thing that this bird is doing. It's getting these echoes. Yeah, it's too confusing. Nope, not that one. There's probably, I'm sure that aligns somehow. There's some real distinct wing patterns happening here, though. Let's Let's try the lazy river. It's a good circular map, and it makes a nice center point with the circle. So there, yeah, that's doing the feet a little bit right there. And I'm pointing to that area, also pointing, this is probably right where they grab, that's the center again. And the tail going, yeah. Yeah, so doing that V, this is talking about the width of the body. No, does the body pretty well though. And let's try one of these ones here. This one, sort of the curved linear version of the Fibonacci map. These ones are not my favorite because they're not very distinct. Kind of confusing, but sometimes they're helpful. Just looking to see if we can describe any of the shapes. And it is always just this exercise of turning and twisting and applying and trying to find the lines. That's a little bit of one. See if we see this line. Let's pull that so it's just right inside the dark area. That's kind of hinting at this V in the tail. Again, crossing right about where the feet are. It's doing a bit of this sweep under there. It's doing this sweep down there. A little bit of this line. Putting the head right at the top of the center so that the center of this map is right in the neck there. Not exactly matching the feathers completely. The other way would be to have these lines going right into that elbow area. So if we do this, Yep, I think there's some sweeps in there. Let's try this version of that map. Actually, that worked well. So let's do the same thing where we'll go from the width of the animals. These maps are bisecting the rectangles. Phi maps are bisecting squares. So since it's bisecting a rectangle, then possibly it needs to be, it's talking about the whole bird. Yeah, it does seem to be hinting at this sweep here. And in fact that oversweep also. So that's almost the arms right there. indeed that line. See that line? I mean, that junction right there and there is kind of pointing right to those elbows and doing that sweep. That's interesting, but it's, if we go, make that bigger. Don't want to lose the elbow. See that feather color discoloration there? It's a little bit off of there. Again, it's pointing to that V where the feet are. It is putting the head, so the beak would be almost right in the center. And it's doing this arc of the top of the wings. And this arc coming down. It's putting the whole junction point right around there. Doing that discoloration well. And missing it over here. But there's something going on with that. It's a little wonky somehow. Yeah, if we go... Anyway, that's a little hard to say, but there are a bunch of lines in that one. Yeah, cool. That one works. And that was this one. I wonder if the opposite of that, or yeah, we tried the tri-spiral. Actually, did we do? Oh, did I get that wrong last time? Sorry, guys. Did we do the tri-spiral? Or we did the inverse of the single spiral on that other one that I was calling the tri-spiral. Good lord. Go back and do the video again. Just gonna go back and do the whole thing again. Okay, that one. Try this one to the whole body also. No. This one's dealing with squares, so it might be more of a... Oh, is it hinting at that form? We put that right in there. Where is that coming from? I mean, the obvious one is we'll go again to the height of the bird, which is the width of that back tail. That's got to be a clue. So, then if we rotate that one, it's going to show us this internal form here a little bit. Yeah, again, reinforcing that idea. Although that's doing the feet. Yeah, look at that. Okay, what is going on here? So again, matching that V with that color pattern, putting the legs right in the center, but that comes a little too low on the neck. Can't go much bigger, but if we did a little bit bigger, that would kind of fix some of those issues. We're being roughly like that, which is, look at that curve coming right under the wing. I don't know if I'm just seeing that or if that's really there. It is, this whole curve. I mean, it's not exact, but it is certainly getting at it. Definitely getting at that. Sort of marking the head area. The head's a little narrower. Again, if the head was stretched up, it's possible the beak would hit right there. Again, pointing to that discoloration. take that one and rotate it. Does that give us our exact wing length? Basically, yeah. Just don't really need to do them for both, eh? But it gives us a little. So, what's that mean? Yeah, definitely some. One more here. Okay, let's try the circle map of the Fibonacci line nature. Do that same thing. We'll go to the body. Or this one will go right to the body. Take that, rotate it as you might rotate your tires, your crops, and make that a little bit bigger so that it fits right exactly on the wings. Just going to push it a little above the head, so if we go wing to bottom, that's suggesting that the head is a little further up there. Which again, I put the beak, if it was really stretching, probably right about there. The rectangles always end right here, and there's no defining features there, which is interesting. Yeah, no, this is not the right arrangement of this map. I believe this map is going to reflect better as just a full map. And let's see. Really putting major circles right in that wing pattern. Feels like the circle almost wants to be there. So maybe those tips of those feathers extend a little bit. Let's put these circles right in those off-color gray areas. What does that do? No, I guess we want to leave them there. Puts the feet right in that eye. Puts the head right getting into this other eye. That's really about it, though. Cool. Okay, well, that's a neat one. We could keep going. Let me try one of these, and that will be that. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Found some pretty cool harmonies in here. Certainly almost enough, well, certainly enough that I can feel like this bird of prey is definitely phi related. There's a lot of phi harmonies with this bird. Oh, there's a little one going from the tip of the wing to, again, in that discoloration pattern there. Very well. That line does that very well. Not sure what I'm doing with this. This is a terrible way to end the video. Go again to the length. Make it square. Okay, perhaps not the length. Did that one just so that it reaches the bottom of the wing. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just... Right. Okay. If this rectangle is the length of the body, then that means if this was coming out of there, it's kind of measuring those various points. Right, a little bit like that. Take those two and invert them to a similar effect. Yeah, sort of. Anyway, okay. Well, that's pretty cool, yep. This particular raptor and this particular position, thank you, Martin, is definitely phi. There's a bunch of phi stuff in there. Cool. Awesome. Hope you guys enjoyed that. We will do it again with another one. Maybe we'll try another bird, maybe. Thank you very much. Have a great day out there. Stay safe. See ya.